Welcome to Two Black TV. I'm your host, T.
I'm co-creator Oshane.
I'd like to welcome my panel this afternoon. Start with Sid, Kareem, Kay, and Kendra.
I thought we were supposed to all look at the camera.
Yeah, I was slipping. It's alright, don't worry about it. We're gonna cut the whole thing out. Alright, so today's topic is Kanye, crazy or conscious. First thing I want to address is like the comment or the quote that I feel like was most controversial. He said, and I quote,
"When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice."
Anybody have something to say about that?
I think that's definitely a strong ass statement. But I see the point he's trying to make. Maybe he should have never explained it as it's a choice, but I do feel like we're not conscious about our own history to be able to change our stance in America right now. So, and because of that, because we're so sleep on it, we not woke on the situation, therefore it is a choice. There's some people that's just comfortable with being at the bottom of the ladder right now.
Well, what is a choice in particular? Because he said 400 years of slavery.
Slavery for 400 years?
Now, when he says 400 years of slavery, can we all agree that he's talking about the American chattel slavery? Yes?
Yeah.
Okay. So that, he said, was a choice. Because he specified, and he went on to reassure that he was talking about a physical thing and saying that it was all of y'all for 400 years.
You was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all? So,
are you also saying that slavery, the transatlantic slave trade, was a deliberate decision by Africans?
Nah, I don't. That's the part that I don't really agree with. The whole actual like the start of slavery being our choice, but I think definitely after like civil rights movement, that's on us.
But
Like
it
what
wasn't
specifically?
slavery.
What do you mean specifically that was on us?
After civil rights, the condition of our people, that's on us.
Elaborate. What do you mean the condition of our people? Like, because he said slavery.
I'm talking about, all right, so I'm off the actual topic of slavery. Like, I'm saying,
but you don't agree with what he said with that quote.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I agree with it to a certain extent. Like, I agree that the 400 years, like, I'm talking about when he's talking about mental slavery and that type of enslavement.
like we're mentally in prison. I like the word prison because slavery goes too direct to the idea of blacks.
When it's to that point, then I think that, yeah, that's our fault. Not the actual slavery, like, getting on a boat, going over the boat. You get what I'm saying? Not that, of course, not a choice. At the end of the day, niggas jumped off that boat.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? So that wasn't a choice.
So you think we choose to be mentally enslaved? Now?
Yes, that I do agree with.
So if someone is mentally enslaved, is that something that they make a choice of, or does mental enslavement control your psychology and teaches you what and how to think? So how could that be a choice as well?
Wait, hold on. We only talk about this is an interview. Nobody else got nothing to say.
Kareem?
I understand what he meant by certain things, but you know, certain statements was definitely strong and could have been said a whole lot differently. So, I mean, I think his intention was good, but he just got a fucked up way of saying it, and then media just got a fucked up way of just portraying him. So,
What's your position on it? Do you think that physical enslavement was a choice? Do you think that mental enslavement
What's
was
your
a choice?
position on it in general, the whole interview?
The whole interview. So, let's see. So I heard everything in its entirety, and it took me a while to really have like a response for it, because I'm not gonna open that discussion in a public platform, social media, because it is controversial. But I think I'm not sure if I 100% concluded it. Like, I'm still maybe 90-95%. But so far, what I think he well, first, the delivery was very poor, but I think what I think he meant, or how he articulated, because there's been, like, we usually say things the wrong way too, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just throwing that out there. So, but if I had to, like, understand what he meant, or if I had to give him a chance, because he did clear himself up on his tweets and he did elaborate further before, you know, most of them were deleted, that he's saying that because he said 400 years, so it's not like, and I think that was like the key word in the statement, like the key phrase, 400 years, because I think what he's trying to say is usually an oppressed group would rebel before, you know, after a certain point, you know what I'm saying? I think
All right. Oh yeah.
I gotta speak on one thing. When we speak on mental enslavement, a lot of people do not know that they're mentally enslaved.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Let's really touch on that. A lot of people do not know that they're mentally enslaved. So for you to say that it's a choice for someone to not know that they're doing something, is it really their choice?
Yeah.
Like, is it really their choice? And then when you say mental enslavement, that being a choice is like you saying someone having a disorder is a choice. Someone being, I'm not gonna, let's say, I don't even know what this, like, PTSD.
That's exactly
That's not somebody's choice, and that's what it is. Let's be honest, that's what it is. That is not a choice. Yes, there is, you can get help for PTSD, but a lot of people do not know that they have PTSD. So for you to sit there and say that mental enslavement is a choice, we should no longer give Kanye West our energy. We should start focusing on moving forward with the black community and stop messing with these clowns and just stop giving them our attention, our money, like just stop giving them the light because it's basically unneeded.
Do you think that Kanye is trying to speak to people who, that's why I'm glad you said what you said in the beginning. Do you think he's speaking to people, you know what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Do you think he's speaking to people who are not aware of the mental enslavement, you know, because he's like this, he's coming off as his messenger, and throughout his career, most people obviously don't, wait, what?
Who's messenger?
No, I'm saying he's trying to become like this messenger,
Yeah,
where he's trying to tell us
become this icon, this image.
no, but I'm talking about to the people who don't know that they were mentally enslaved. You know what I'm saying? Because you're right. Like there are people who don't know either. But do you think maybe he's speaking to more of that crowd, like the people who don't know they're mentally enslaved? Though the wording, like what he said, was wrong. I think what I realized during the conversation is that we're all talking about the context and what he meant to say, and I think that's where the discussion would probably get lost sometimes.
Well, I can't speak for Kanye, so I don't know what's on his mind. But your deliverance, the way you deliver a message,
no, I think the delivery
that's where it gets cut off. You can deliver a message, but once people are telling you that your deliverance of that message is wrong, and you say, okay, I understand that my deliverance is wrong,
Let me
but
reiterate.
we have been enslaved for 400. You don't understand that. You obviously do not understand that. I understand what he's saying. Don't get me wrong, because it took me a minute to understand what he was saying. I had this conversation with Kendra, and she had to explain to me. It took me a minute to understand what he was saying. But your deliverance, once you deliver a message, like it's like saying, wait, let me finish. If I say I hate black people, but I only hate some, like certain type of black people. My deliverance is all types of fucked up. You're not gonna hear my message. My message is ignorant.
Yes.
You're gonna think that I'm ignorant now. And now on top of that, I'm telling you to correct your message, and you're not going to correct your message. That man I cannot respect right now.
I agree with you.
Okay.
I can't.
Can somebody give me some sort of clarification as to what he meant? Because what I heard and other people, or what I heard and what he said, seems to be vastly different from everyone else's interpretation to it.
Yeah, that's what
I need some sort of enlightenment, because what I was specifically addressing was him talking about my ancestors deliberately choosing to be in a predicament in which they couldn't. You can't choose any type of psychological confinement. You don't choose those. You don't choose physical enslavement. Black people didn't just sit there and let it happen. They revolted. There was Black Panther. There was the UNIA. There was the NAACP. There was mad different movements, mad different slave revolts. Nat Turner. You have all these revolutionaries doing so many things. So in every aspect, this man is just incorrect historically, addressing these actual events that happened. He's historically incorrect. So I need to find out what delivery could have changed that message to being something that's accurate.
I think overall, people who are saying that they understand where Kanye is coming for, or who are advocating for his message in a different delivery, are people that are unable to separate their liking for him as the artist
and his position and his assertions and what he believed as a man.
I think this is what I think. I think with him saying the 400-year choice or whatever the case may be, like I said, I think Deliverance was definitely could have came off as offensive, but I do think that it was strategic though, because then to answer your question, I think the correct way to bring that conversation about is to enlighten people and tell people how are they mentally enslaved. You get what I'm saying? So like, I feel like it was meant to cause this conversation to happen. You get what I'm saying? People don't have this People don't have this conversation, and I feel like he's okay with being the person that everybody could point a finger and just so niggas could have that actual conversation. And I feel like once we start having the actual conversation amongst the youth and in our generation and in our everyday conversation, then that's how we could switch things, and that's how we would get out of not being mentally enslaved. You got what I'm saying?
I feel what you're saying, bro. But look at us. We millennials, we having this conversation every day. We don't need you.
That's not true. You can't say we're having this conversation every day because we're having this conversation.
Hold on. 1 second. Moses, not everybody else. Hold up, Moses.
Oh, chill. I don't
Wait.
Alright. Basically, I feel like not everybody's really having that conversation. But they basically feel like everything is okay.
Right.
You feel me? They basically feel like,
That's what I'm
okay,
saying.
I'm gonna be able to go to college, I'm gonna be able to change something.
A lot of people
But
are
if you do your
comfortable.
research,
That's
you
what I'm saying.
feel me? Like, I feel like when he says mental enslavement is a choice because people don't do their research. It's your choice to do your research.
Exactly.
Mentally,
But not everybody else is enlightened.
Let me take that back. We're not having this conversation every day, but we don't need your clownery to make wait. We don't need your sentence like that to make the black community look weaker than what we are. That sentence made the black community look weak. Let us be honest. If this black man, this black icon is saying we've been mentally enslaved for 400 years, what is white people looking at us like? Like, that comment made us look weak. I am upset.
I definitely understand that you're upset, but then it's like, you feel me? Kanye basically going off like, all right, we was enslaved for 400 years. It's like everywhere that had slaves, you feel me? That's other than America. They revolted and then they got something done within.
There was revolts. Did you
No. I do.
I can pull up.
We definitely did. We did what we tried to do in the time that it was happening, but it was like we was barely getting anywhere.
We ended slavery with the Civil War. You know, black people fought the Civil War.
I'm saying, yeah. I'm not speaking for me. I'm speaking for Kanye.
Go ahead.
I may not know what he's thinking, but like, basically, what I feel like he's thinking is like, if we look at it here and then we look at it, other people who were really enslaved, once they did something, it was like, okay, boom, we out of, like, not even slavery, but it's like once people revolted out of the situation that they were in, it was kind of more so like, okay, they're gonna get their freedom, or they're gonna, like, something's changing. We had to go through like trial and error before something could actually be changed. And it was that one big revolt that changed something. You feel me? So it's like we had the Harriet Tubman, we had these people, we had like one person or like a couple people trying to do mad things that mad people wanted to be changed. But if everybody was like Harriet Tubman, don't you think something would have been changed faster?
I was gonna say that, son.
I feel like that's what you're trying to say.
Bring up how.
I mean, like, I definitely feel like the way he worded it, or everything is wrong, because it's like we dead ass slaves, and we tried things.
Okay. You're saying if everybody was like Harriet Tubman, right? But on top of Harriet Tubman, there was other people. So what about those other people? What about those other people that try to make a change? So like, my question is, what more did they want from us? Because we tried once. We tried, like you said, trial and error, and those shits got us places. Harriet Tubman got a lot of slaves out, got us places. Other people got us places. What more do you want?
They want black people to be superheroes.
No, they don't want black people to be superheroes, but
when this man went on the interview, I seen him ripping black people apart as a community. That's not something you go onto that type of platform and do.
That's the whole.
Because that's not us. That's not the black community. So you don't go out there and dissect us and try to analyze us. Do you know that in the full interview, he started talking about, he said, I have the quote. He was talking about black on black violence.
Black people have a tendency to focus and march when a white person kills a black person or wears a hat, but when it's 700 kids being killed in Chicago, it's okay.
When did we start justifying black on black crime is made up. Made up. If you look up the percentages, the only reason why black people are killing black people so much is because we live around each other. White people kill each other just as much. So when you have these pseudo facts that's coming out presented with no sufficient evidence, you're leading people to think a whole certain way, and you're putting that on a public platform. You're such a powerful voice.
And this is
what you're doing.
A lot of the comments that he said is comments that you hear from people that are typically like, you know, have white supremacist paradigms. Like when he was trying to emphasize on black crime as if black people killed each other disproportionately to any other race or group. When he said that the mob tries to make black people Democrats, so that for food stamps and stuff. It's like when he was saying the interview, he was just spitting things out. Like anything that came to his head, I felt like he was just spitting it out. And it was nothing that was thought about or had anything meaningful to it. I feel like he just went on there on another Kanye rant to get attention.
And I feel like a lot of people get lit and they learn shit like this. And I agree with the fact that people don't know that they're mentally enslaved. Why? Because I feel like the people who do end up understanding and knowing those facts don't go back and say those facts. You get what I'm saying? They don't go back and tell people how to get out of that or how to live. You get what I'm saying? Or how to be better. So it's just like, I feel like if anything, as a people, we need to just exclude ourselves. I'm not saying segregation all the way, but I feel like there should be places for us to chill. Yeah, but
they have
need
their
to talk.
segregated.
Right, we need to talk. We need to know how to live amongst each other and how to be functional for our communities than to be functional for a white man's community. Like, you get what I'm saying?
So I feel like his deliverance on that whole message was controversial, and Kanye he likes being that fall guy. He likes people hating him or loving him for the crazy things that he said. So I feel like what he did was to get this conversation started. But in my opinion, a lot of people don't know how to have that conversation because he is Kanye West. So a lot of people are more focused on the fact that this big star just said something completely stupid, and they're not really talking about the conversation. They're not really talking about what he meant, what he was trying to say. They're talking about the fact that why would he go on TV and why would he say something so ignorant? Like, shouldn't he know better? No. Come on, he knows exactly what he is doing. Trust me, he knows exactly what he's doing. So I just feel like a lot of us are just arguing about it, like blah blah blah. No, he knows what he's doing, guys. Trust me. Screaming a lot of grammar correction on what Kanye said, on how to hypotheticals on if he would have said this, if he would have said that, but we missed the main point on what the man said. He can't really go back and change that. Like this. It's been said, bro. Like, there's really no coming back from that.
Right. My comment was specifically for you three. All three basically had a similar comment about him doing this on purpose for the conversation. My thing is, when have we ever I feel like we're giving him way too much credit, because Kanye, in my personal opinion,
you think we're giving Kanye credit? I feel like Kanye in this conversation,
in terms of saying that he only said what he said,
not about his artistry.
Wait, I didn't get the question. Let me finish the question.
In terms of saying that he only said what he said in order to start a conversation amongst black people, I feel like we are attributing him to a level of intelligence that Kanye has never demonstrated ever. Kanye is not saying that. He's not saying let's start a conversation. When has Kanye ever tried to start a conversation?
I feel like he just
Ultimately, it's because it's Kanye West. If it was anybody else or anyone else that wasn't as high up in the community or as well respected in music, that they wouldn't be so quick to find excuses or justifications for the comments that he made.
You can't say that. You can't say that because Kanye, I don't know if you have heard All Falls Down. Listen to that song now. Listen to it now. You're gonna see the song different. So he has been speaking about our community. I feel like if anything, everybody's always quick to bash Kanye. Like anything he said, like everybody just wants to hate him so much. But it's just like, I don't know. Like I feel like he don't know how to. You know what? You know why he don't know how to have the conversation? We know how to deliver the conversation because I'm pretty sure we're all intellectual, we are woke people, so we consistently have this conversation. He is at home with a white woman, which I don't agree that he should be doing that. What is she doing for him? She cannot nurture him how a black woman can, bro.
Right. But follow up.
Let's
My
be
question,
honest.
I had a follow-up question. My question
she
is,
can't nourish that mind.
I say that to say this. if this was any other guy who had said exactly
The
what
same
Kanye
thing,
had
I would feel the
said,
same
would
way.
you guys be so quick to defend what he said and try to interpret it in any other way? Or is it just because it was Kanye? Is it just because it was Kanye?
So that's
what
If I said that on public TV, ain't nobody gonna care shit.
No one
I mean, they just gonna tell me I'm
You know why
black and
they
I'm
wouldn't
saying
care
that.
though? Because you're not, your voice is not as powerful and influential
they
to
don't
so
care
many
because
people.
you're not making
That's
That's
why.
exactly why
That's the only why. It's not
but
just
then
Kanye.
it's like,
Listen,
you
let me
feel
go.
me?
Because personally, I don't listen like. I don't listen to Kanye like that.
I haven't really listened to his music like that, and it wasn't for any particular reason, like no disliking of him or anything.
I'm aware, like from being in my community, that he's regarded as an artistical genius. But you guys have to be able to make that separation between this is someone who produces great music, who produces great art. Then this is someone who is historically inaccurate, and this is someone who is not mentally stable. Because if you watch throughout the entire video, this man is like the epitome, displays the epitome of cognitive dissonance. So many of his statements and assertions are so paradoxical, it's amazing. Like he says at one point, like, I remember you have brought up to me like how they took out this part of the video where he went up to Van and he was apologizing and being like, he wasn't really apologizing, he was like, oh, I'm sorry for hurting you, man.
I was sorry
But
for
if you watch,
today.
if you watch about 10 seconds before that, when Van was explaining his point, he was like, oh, give me a hug. I feel like you want to fight me. I feel like you want to fight me.
You and I want to give you a hug. I feel like you want to fight me right now, but I love you.
I don't fight with my fist, man. I've been through that. This is what I'm saying.
So if I come over there, you're not gonna fight me?
No.
Now, why would this man who has an opposing opinion want to fight you for that? You're automatically, that's like some white supremacist mindset type shit. So you're telling me this black man, hold on, let me finish. You're telling me that this black man who has an opposing opinion, you who just was the advocate for free thinking, now he has to want to fight you?
He's also